So since we already learned about some of the classification and the regression projects, let's also get started with the NLP related classification task. So which is consisting of the talks, comments, classification. So the basically the analysis of this Wikipedia comments we going to be extracted by using the Kaggle datasets. So once you click on this link, you will able to go through this Kaggle datasets. Under this Kaggle datasets, you will able to find the jigsaw, the different comment sections, and also the week. This is the online comment competition at the time they have provided 5 years ago. So the dataset description is looks like this. They have extracted with the large number of the Wikipedia comment, which we have been labeled by using the human raters for the talks behavior. So talks behavior may be somewhat the different kind of the insult or maybe the obscene or several kind of the inherent identification of the hate and along with the sexual abuse. So depending on the toxic comment, we need to be classify them, which is the toxic comment or not. So that is a basic kind of the model building we need to be construct by using these kind of the values. And also you can see by using the description function, they are provided with the training data sets and also the test data sets if you want to be perform well with compared to the test data sets as well. So let's get started with the ED analysis by using this kind of the task. And also let's understood about the some of the introductory about this kind of the technology and jigsaw and where it's going to be platformed and when it's going to be founded. So Jigsaw is founded, initiated by using the Google as a nowadays the part of the alphabet. So both will going to be works as a tool to improve these kind of the online conversations. So one area of focus is mostly for the study of these negative online behavior like toxic comments such as rude behavior or disrespectful, otherwise you can say someone leave the discussion kind of stuff. So what happened publicly if you have these kind of the models to serve entire the prospective API, so including toxicity also, but the current model still has some of the mistakes or maybe they didn't allow users to select which type of toxicity it is. So that is a major finding here. So once we fix those issue, what exactly the toxic comment we have to be removed, then it should be model perform well when compared to what exactly the problem statement we are working on. So ML mapping to the ML problem, we need to build a multi-headed model that needs to be capitalized of the detecting of the different types of the toxic, like traits or obscenity or insult or identity-based hate better than the prospective current models. And also we're going to be use the data sets, Wikipedia talks for the different kind of the edits and improvement to the current model, and that needs to be well for the respective and also the productive way of doing that model to remove the toxic comments. So some of the data set kind of the columns or maybe the futures we're going to be seeing. We have toxic and the survey taxing, obscines and treat, insult, and identity hate. So we can use by using the probability score so that we will able to understand about which fold of the comment having this much of toxicity to detect it. So let's get started with ED analysis first. Then we will go dive deep into the data cleaning and also the pre-processing steps. And we can go for the data building model by using the different NLP techniques, whatever we have already implemented on top of the other data sets. So I'm just importing some of the NLP related libraries which are going to be useful and with regarding the plotting and also the understanding of the ED analysis and also some plotting techniques. So this start and end time will be enabled us when the cell it needs to be started, when the cell it needs to be ended. So whenever we want to require how much time it needs to be take, we can directly use this function print time. I'm just mounting my data set, which is already present in my Google Drive. So which have the train.csv and also the test.csv. So you can also see with corresponding to some of the null values which are present in the TOEIC data sets, which will be extracted by using the percentile of the values. So I'm just created a function with corresponding to the null percentage, which basically tells about how much percentage of the each and every feature we had going to be extracted. So size and how much size it the totally have and how much percentage of the missing values we are going to be extracting using the percentage and also the nan value so that it will give the not any zero kind of the values or not. So checking the nulls we're going to be give that much of the informative to get it for using the null percentage. So as you seen in this printing statement, there is no any kind of the null values or the misvalues, right? So that data it should be fine. So let's get started with ED analysis. Just quickly look about some of the features and how many records we do have. So the futures we had has a eight futures, and the records we had around 1,50,000 plus. So this much of the record, or 1,60,000, around 1,60,000 record we're going to be get rid by using the toxic comments. This is a sample one of the record which add ID, the person's ID, and along with the comment they have text by using the toxic or sarcastic or hate or not be hate. So by using these, we're going to be understood about the problem, and we're going to be do some kind of the ED analysis so that everyone else is going to be look upon how many rows we have for the different kind of the toxics, and how does label feature engineering will going to be helpful in this project. So let's get started with how many rows are in this toxins. So I'm just giving the taxes numbers so that it will summarize the total number of the taxes values, and also creating the overall any label feature. So what happened? Any label we had something called as any label. By using this any label, we are going to be attached with corresponding to the toxic rows, whatever the toxic row we had, and also creating a dictionary to store some of the values whoever having the count results, and along with the other count results with respect to the target column we are going to be extracted. So the target column is going to be assigned to the total number of this selection process, so that it needs to be appended with the toxic columns. So I'm also plotting the heap map to get to know about the how does the comments is going to be showcasing. Along with the heap map also will give as a comment type. So yeah, training the comment and along with comment values. So let's get started with how does the percentage of the comments and how does the heap map will shows like this. So toxic and so taxes has very huge correlation when compared to the all, and also you can see so toxic and also the insult have some of the correlation, and along with insult and toxic have some correlation between them. Insult and options also can correlations. So let's also analyze the data. How does it going to be helpful in terms of the classified as a toxic? So total 15,000 plus records for the toxic comments for 9.5 on the overall data percentage. So by using this, we are going to be get it from 10% were the taxi, and also the 51% are the options, and 2.9% are the trait. So identification by using these toxic comments. So toxic comments also have this much of the data, but nevertheless, the toxic and also server taxes will be the same. You can say 100% will be the toxic, same as the whatever the variables we are going to be give from these values. So depending on the data sets we are going to be perform, currently we are using as a jigsaw toxic comments data sets, and also the obscene comments also will be the same as a toxic values, and along with obscures and also the insult. So this much of the insult values and also the identity hate values will give as a number of the types. And also check about this plot. So this plot tells about, just a second, yeah, this plot tells about which comment type counts. Okay, so toxic had very high, and also any label, so it had all the consisting of the label and along with the toxic. So the max number of the toxic comments are very high when compared to all the other third, and also the insult and also the identity head, and absence is the second one, right? So you can write the simple English way so that we will easily understood by using this kind of the analysis along with above heap map, and along with slightly go with the next step. So what happened in this cell is we are just giving some naval information to get to know about the how many comments it needs to be clean. So we have different kind of the comments just now we already seen, that must be depending on the or what are the different kind of the proximity we're going to be get by using the target values. So let's say we can simply see the label here is toxic comment is that hardly an attack, see widely constant barrage identity. So these kind of the words, right? Identity and attack. So these kind of the personals. So these kind of the words are mostly toxic kind of related stuff. And some other false side story and this the fuck and this fandel, different kind of, right? So these kind of the words and maybe comes under the toxic information. So toxic, and I will give you a proof. Dhoni is a Rajput. Check it. Likely this open link, right? So this kind of information with regarding the sort toxic. And what about the other one? Yeah, no, kind of these words are right. So in terms of toxic comments, it needs to be validated and along with needs to be get rid by using those. So depending on the different kind of the symbols they're going to be used at the time. So it must be satisfied with toxic comments and along with the other tweet comments. So this is tweet comment, right? So label is a tweet here. And also different kind of the labels you can also show with a couple of the examples so that you will able to identify with corresponding to this. So yeah, this is a summary, basic summary. Interesting takeaways from this is toxic is represent 90% of the other category, and throughout all the appearance the first glance subcategories of the toxic, okay, who will going to be served with the subtoxic with the 100% of the time. And also you can see toxic isn't actually overall category, okay, so some of the attributes that the toxic ends up with descending most of the insults, that may be tweets or hate comments or maybe the overskills. So we don't have any actual definition for the classification. Okay, so we cannot know exactly what they mean by for example also, right? So identity hate comments may not be aren't be toxic. That may be true some of the cases, right? So if it was a higher 99 percentage, I would say it's going to be labeled there maybe, or just make the toxic overall the category. That may be some make some assumption to know about the true when other categories not very be true. So at that time we are going to be showcased like that stuff. So let's get started with some of the future engineering hacks. So length of the each and every comment word. So we're going to be extracted with by using different functionalities to use. So I'm taking as average toxic comment length by using the mean function. So toxic average comment length, the label is a one. So I'm taking as the label for the length of the word, length of the toxic comment word is 303, and the length of the clean comment length is a 404. And along with toxic comment, the label one, the median value, and also we are going to be extracted with a couple of the percentile values. So percent of the capitalized character in toxic comments. Okay, so just taking the mean value and corresponding to the way it's going to be calculating the percentage. So 14% of the percent of the characters and capitalized, and also the clean capitalized also 5%. So let's also focus on the word length. So these are all very important to generate any kind of the feature engineering hacks, so that we will able to understand data by using this understood about the percentile values and also the frequency of the words. So average word length for the toxic comments is 4.1. So average each and every word having 4.1 kind of the word, and the clean comments having the 4.4. And also we can see explanation with corresponding to all the words in toxic comment is 3.5. So which regards explanatory mark. Okay, so whoever having the character of the explanatory mark, it needs to be get read by using those kind of the comments at 3.5. Average kind of the words. And also the question, we are having the different kind of the question that may not be having some kind of the question marks in the toxic comments. Maybe they are asking a question, or maybe they are asking explanatory mark to understand some other data sets, right? So by using the regular expression, we are just cleaning the data, because since we already have this much of the noisy kind of the stuff, explanatory marks, question marks, and also we have get it by using the different kind of the symbols, and also we use it to clean by using the different kind of the special characters in the data or the talks comments. So at the time we use it to clean this kind of the data. Removing the unwanted characters and also special character we use as a regular expression. So once we call this function strip IP, the everything will becomes with the cleaning text, so that we can automate this process while doing the model. Just for the preparation for the ED analysis, we just go into these regular expressions. So let's also we're going to be get regarding the each and every label, the overall summary. How does that going to be helpful with corresponding to the label counts and also the label overlap summary. So let's get started with label count. How many labels we are going to be get? So we have different kind of the toxic comments, right? So with different kind of the classification tasks we need to be performed by using the NLP. So one label that is consisting of the toxic results, and also we have added any label that may not be considered right now. We just extracted with the taxi label and also the options, right? So the options having also the win. The percent of the label having the toxic is very high, 39% point 2, and the options having the 25% 99, with corresponding to the different kind of this is completely imbalanced data sets once we understood about the concepts with regarding the different kind of the taxes labels. And along with what we're going to be do splitting of this data for the training data set. So from the training data sets, we are going to be split this into different kind of the labels. So once we are going to be understood about the toxic comments and several toxic comments, absence, and treat and insult and identity hate or any label. So I'm just a get ready from by using this to take as a comment text, length, and caps, word length, and explanatory mark and question. So taking this kind of the labels and also the training data